What does that say about me?
Parker McCollum is a fan favorite in today's country music. He rose to fame with the help of the #1 song Pretty Heart and his debut album Gold Chain Cowboy. Now McCollum has released his sophomore album Never Enough, and the singer sat down with us to chat about all of his new music, his songwriting process, and what fans can expect. Before we hear more about Parker McCollum's new record, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give it a thumbs up for more country music news and entertainment. McCollum started out by sharing how grateful he is to be in this position. With the awards he's won and #1 songs, he's still shocked about how far he's come.
Extremely exhausted all the time in the best way possible. Blessed is like the term that comes to my mind every time I think about any of it. My career where it is right now, today on Wednesday, is 1,000 times bigger than anybody from Conroe, Texas ever thought that it could or would be, myself included. And it's not even close to the top. I've kind of struggled a little bit, probably more than a little bit, a lot, with kind of stopping and smelling the roses and just appreciating, the things that I've been able to do and been blessed to do in the last couple of years, things that I dreamed about 20 years ago when I was just a little kid. I didn't used to do. I was just so focused on making it and hustling and being the hardest working and all that. And I still am that way, just, with a little better perspective, I guess you could say. So it's been good to me. And if it all ended tomorrow, it's so much bigger than I ever thought it would be.
McCollum discussed when he decided to pursue music seriously and learning to write new songs.
I kind of had the inclination when I was like a kid that I connected with melodies and songs big time, would sing them over and over and over again, could learn the words to a song quickly by hearing it one time, but I didn't really think about it and on a serious, any kind of serious anything until I was probably in high school, probably 15, 16 years old. And I started to, really try to write songs and practice guitar and even when I started first performing little, dinky shows here and there, I really didn't like it that much. I really just liked playing guitar in my room and with my friends and my brother and stuff. I would just watch people on stage or watch people on TV when they were performing, and I just knew that I could do that. I would look at it and I would say, I can 100% do that. And that was enough for me to kind of start taking it seriously. But, I was lucky. I grew up, with a lot of George Strait playing in my house. My mom was a massive George Strait fan, so that was kind of passed down to me, and that was kind of the standard of country music in my family. And then my older brother got into a lot of the Texas songwriters when I was really young. He was probably 14 or 15. He started listening to guys like Randy Rogers Band and Pat Green, and even got into guys like Rodney Crowell and Guy Clark and Steve Earle and so many great songwriters from Texas. And that was kind of the standard for us, was writing songs from the right place and being real and authentic and living the songs you write. And but at the same time, I was such a fan of George, and he was such a mega superstar that was kind of what I saw as, the pinnacle of country music was getting to a level like that. So I think it's really served me well having those crazy, true, gritty songwriter influences, but also kind of having George as the bar, kind of setting the standard.
The singer hasn't changed his approach to music after all this time. He opened up about enjoying writing sad country love songs, but wanting to have more upbeat tracks as well.
I don't think it's evolved too much. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. My songwriting process hasn't changed at all. I write with my friends a little more now. In recent years, I've kind of tried to write some more, kind of up-tempo, entertaining songs, strictly for myself. You stand up there on stage and sing. For me, I just kind of got bored and tired of only singing sad, slow songs and kind of wanted to, entertain myself a little bit more. So other than that, it's pretty much just the same old thing.
McCollum shares why he decided to name the new album Never Enough.
Kind of just an inability to stop and smell the roses and enjoy where you are, and just constantly being obsessed with more and more and more and more. Climb one mountain you never thought you'd get to the top of, and instead of being grateful for being on top of that mountain and how far you've come, you immediately just look up to the next mountain and start climbing that one. So never enough was kind of something that I found myself saying a lot last year and kind of the start of this year, with, whether I bought my dream car or had a number one or sold out a stadium or sold out a whole tour or whatever it was, things that I dreamed about for so long, as soon as they would happen, it would just kind of be, instead of enjoying it, it would be what's next. And so I just kind of kept saying, man, it's never enough. I can't work hard enough. I can't do enough. I can't win enough. Can't accomplish enough. It's never enough.
His process of choosing songs for the album is just as authentic and straightforward as he is. McCollum also shares why Handle on You was chosen as the lead single.
My process is pretty easy. I wrote 14 songs and put 14 songs on the record and cut one that I didn't write, which I didn't do on my last record. I didn't have any outside cuts on my last record. And it's a phenomenal song. I listened to it one time and I was like, oh, damn, that's amazing. And but if I have 15 songs on a record, I probably wrote 15 songs. Totally up to the label. They let me write what I want to write and cut what I want to cut and do everything I want to do the way I want to do it. And so when it comes to what song they feel they can push to the radio stations and have the most success, they know what they're doing. Handle on You was actually probably the only one I've had that in my mind was the clear favorite for, to go to radio. It just sounds like a country song on the radio from years ago.
The singer opens up about what his fans can expect from this new record, and if he has any songs he is most excited for them to hear.
Some things that I've learned along the way, or some things I wish I would have learned at a younger age. But there's some good heartbreak love songs about everything going terribly wrong on there, just like there always has been and always will be. And then there's a couple songs on there I think that people will, turn their head at a little bit or be like, but it's just, I just really try to be as genuine and authentic with the approach and the process as I can. And, if I write something and I sing it and I like it and I love it, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to put it out. And, regardless of whether it meets any kind of personal criteria or standard that I have, if I enjoy and I think it's a good song, it's going to come out. And that's kind of how all my records have been. And it's really how this one is. Kind of go back and forth on which ones are my favorite. It's kind of like picking a favorite kid.
McCollum shares what he is looking forward to when touring with Morgan Wallen.
I mean, he's playing MetLife Stadium and Wrigley Field and Fenway Park, and it's kind of a no-brainer. You don't want to pass on an opportunity to play those places. And I mean, he knows what he's doing, having me on the tour. He doesn't need anybody to help him sell tickets. I think, Morgan's a smart guy, and I think he appreciates, people who work hard and try to go about it the right way. And he's really just kind of thrown me a huge bone by putting me on those shows and letting me get up and sing my songs in front of his crowd. So I'm grateful for it, and he's been so good to me. So I just, really hope to go out there and deliver, and hopefully he's not sitting there, side stage going, what the hell have I done having him on the tour?
Have you checked out Parker McCollum's new album? Let us know in the comments, and if you have a favorite song. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more interviews with your favorite country artists and all things country music and everything that's the Nash News.